Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well and welcome to the platform of CodeChef. Okay, so today we're gonna be solving the problem Freshers Party. The difficulty level for this problem is Cakewalk and the prerequisites required are your greedy and sortings. This is your educator Ansh and I hope you like my video. Let's proceed to the problem statement. Okay, now let us try and understand the problem statement. First units are repeatedly asking for Freshers Party to second units. But being responsible enough, second years know it's not a safe time for parties and they want to avoid overcrowding. So as of now, they decided to give every junior a packet of toffees as they promised them a party in near future, which juniors agreed upon. Utkarsh and Jaskran went to a shop to buy coffees for N juniors. The shopkeeper has M packets of toffees and each packet may contain different number of toffees. To be more specific, the first packet contains F1 number of toffees, the second packet contains F2 number of toffees and so on. Utkarsh and Jaskaran don't want to upset juniors, so they decided that the difference between number of toffees in the packets to be at least to be as least as possible. Let A1 be the number of toffees in the largest packet that they buy and A2 be the number of toffees in the smallest packet they buy. Now they want to buy n packets in such a way that A1 minus A2 is minimum possible. Okay, so now let me just understand you what the problem is saying. The problem is saying that we have two integers are n comma m and then will be provided an array of m elements. So consider the example. I have two integers n comma m and then I am a provided array of six integers. Now what the question is saying is that I can select any out of m will be, it is guaranteed that my n will be definitely less than equal to m, and the question is saying that I have to select n packets out of this m packets such that the minimum let the basically the maximum element minus the minimum element should be minimum possible, right? So what the problem is saying, let us understand by solving this particular test case. So here my test is nothing but, say it is my 10, 12, 10, 7, 5 and 22. So here what I can do is, firstly we can sort this particular array, right? So first let us consider a sorted array. Nothing but 5, 7, then it's 10, then it's 10, then it's 12, then it's 22, right? Now, obviously, at any particular given instance, I want to minimize the value of the entire maximum. So basically, according to this question, I have my six elements. I have to pick any four elements such that the maximum of those four elements minus the minimum of those four elements should be as small as possible, right? What we can do is we can start selecting our first four elements as the answer, right? So in this case, what is the maximum of these four elements, which is 10, minus what is the minimum of this element, which is 5, and which is nothing but 5, right? Then we can try selecting the next four elements. Then it is 7, 10, 10, 12. Maximum is 12, minimum is 7. So 12 minus 7 is nothing but 5. So again we got 5. Again we can choose next four elements. Then maximum is 22, minimum is 10. Then the answer for this case is 12. So out of 5, 5 and 12, we can easily observe that 5 is the minimum thing that we can get. And hence the answer for this test case is 5. Right? And this also becomes the approach for solving this particular problem. So what you can do is, in the initial array, you can sort it. Once you sort the array, you can keep on picking first n elements, then you can just pick the next element, next n elements, and you can just keep on picking in such a way. This is some kind of sliding window technique, or you can say, this is the pattern in which we can just take on keeping the maximums. Or basically in a sorted array, our idea is simple because I know that array is sorted. I know that this particular element, if we took these four elements, I know that this will be my maximum element and this will be my minimum element. Again, if we took this particular thing, then we know that this will be our maximum element and this will be our minimum element. We don't even need to consider the other elements. Thus, the starting and ending will do the deed, right? So what does the approach for this problem becomes? It becomes simple. Traverse in the groups of n in a sliding window type of technique and just take the differences of each and every element. So I'll take the difference of 10 minus 5 as one of my possibilities. I'll take the difference of 12 minus 7 as one of my possibilities, and I'll take the difference of 22 minus 10 as one of my possibilities. Here, the difference of 10 minus 5 will be 5, 12 minus 7 again will be 5, and 22 minus 10 will be 10. And out of all these possibilities, I know that my answer of 5 is the minimal, and hence I'll print that particular answer according to my output format. And this becomes the approach for solving this particular problem, right? Now let us see and how we will implement this particular approach in the coding section. So let's proceed to the coding section. Okay, now let us try and understand what the code for this particular problem statement is saying. So here we include all our header files. Then in our main function, for each of my test case, I take input according to my test cases. Now we initialize our n and m according to the input format and take them according to the input format. And as I know, my array is of m length. And what I do is, I traverse for the m and I take input of the array or each and every element of an array. Then I sort my array according to the approach, right? Then we initialize our answer as a big value which is int max because we have to take the minimum of all the values. I keep my starting value as a big value. Then simple, I'll traverse in the loop as we discussed in the approach section. Like this is nothing but traversing in the groups of that particular case, which is m minus n plus 1. So we're traversing in those groups and the answer is simple, nothing but the last element occurring in that group minus the first element occurring in that group. Because it is a sorted array, I know that if it is a group of 4, so as I discussed in the approach section, the array was in length 6 and we were traversing in the groups of 4. So I know for any group of 4, the last element occurring in that group is the maximum element and the first element occurring in that group is the minimum element. That is the maximum possible difference we can get and we have to minimize that particular difference, right? So that is why I generally took the difference and every iteration I am taking minimum it with the current answer. And after doing this for all the groups, we simply print out our answer according to the output format. Now let us run our code on the sample test cases to see whether everything is working correctly or not. So as you can see, we got the exact answer according to the output format. Now let us submit our code and see whether our code is passing all the test cases or not. Okay, so as you can see, we got the correct answer for the following problem, and yes, this becomes a valid approach to solve this particular problem, right? Now let us discuss what mistakes people can make in this particular problem. So here, the important observation is to sort the array and take this greedy technique in order to get our answer. If this particular observation was clear, I think the code for this problem is quite simple, and there are high chances or there are low chances of making mistakes if the observation was clear, right? So this is the learning you get from watching my video. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.